After leaving Eden's beauty behind, Adam and Eve raised their sons, Cain and Abel, in a harsh world, teaching them survival, obedience to God, and the painful consequences of sin. Cain became a hard-working farmer who cultivated the earth, while Abel lovingly cared for sheep, each dedicating themselves daily to their separate responsibilities beneath God's watchful presence. As years passed, Cain took pride in his harvests from the ground, while Abel carefully protected his flock, developing a gentle spirit shaped by patience, humility, and devotion. One day, both brothers prepared offerings for God. Cain gathered crops from his fields, while Abel selected the finest lamb from his flock with sincere reverence and wholehearted faith. God accepted Abel's offering with favor, but Cain's sacrifice received no approval. Abel stood peacefully before God, while Cain's heart filled with confusion, disappointment, wounded pride, and jealousy. Jealousy slowly consumed Cain's thoughts as he watched Abel receive God's favor. Instead of correcting himself, Cain allowed bitterness and anger to grow deeply within his troubled heart. God warned Cain that sin was waiting nearby like a dangerous beast, urging him to master his anger before it controlled his actions and destroyed the peace within him. Although God warned him, Cain secretly planned evil against his brother. Pretending friendship, he invited Abel into the fields where nobody else could witness their deadly confrontation. Far from home, Cain's jealousy finally exploded into violence. Abel, completely unaware of danger, faced his brother's rage as darkness overcame Cain's heart and destroyed their brotherhood forever. Cain murdered Abel in the lonely field, spilling innocent blood upon the earth. The first human family experienced devastating tragedy as sin revealed its terrifying power and deadly consequences. Silence filled the field after Cain's terrible act. Fear and guilt immediately surrounded him. Yet the irreversible tragedy remained before him beneath darkening skies and an unforgiving earth. God approached Cain and asked where Abel was. Cain responded with disrespectful words, attempting to hide his crime from the all-seeing Creator. Cain answered arrogantly, asking whether he was his brother's keeper. Yet God declared Abel's blood cried out from the ground, exposing Cain's guilt and bringing divine judgment near. God cursed the ground beneath Cain's hands. No matter how hard he worked afterward, the earth would no longer reward him with fruitful harvests or peaceful satisfaction. Cain was sentenced to become a restless wanderer upon the earth. The comfort of family and familiar land disappeared as he began a lonely life filled with regret. Overwhelmed by punishment, Cain feared others would eventually kill him. His guilt transformed every stranger into a possible threat, leaving him trapped in constant anxiety and insecurity. Despite Cain's crime, God showed mercy by placing a protective mark upon him, warning others not to kill him and demonstrating justice balanced carefully with compassion and restraint. Marked by guilt and sorrow, Cain journeyed far from his family. Every step through the wilderness reminded him of the brother he lost through hatred and uncontrolled anger. Adam and Eve grieved deeply for Abel's death. Their sorrow reflected humanity's growing suffering. As sin continued spreading destruction, heartbreak, violence, and separation across the once hopeful world, Cain eventually settled in distant lands and began building a city. Though civilization expanded, the memory of his crime continued haunting his restless soul every single day. During lonely nights, Cain remembered Abel's kindness and innocence. The painful memories reminded him how jealousy and pride had shattered his family and his own inner peace. Abel's absence remained visible across the fields he once cared for faithfully. His peaceful spirit contrasted sharply with the violence that ended his life far too soon. Though surrounded by people, Cain remained emotionally alone. His mark became a reminder of his past, causing fear, suspicion, and reflection wherever he traveled afterward. Abel's death left permanent scars upon the first family. Their grief became a warning for generations about the consequences of jealousy and unchecked sinful desires. Although Cain continued living, he could never escape the emotional burden of his actions. His punishment extended beyond wandering, reaching deeply into his troubled conscience and broken spirit. Future generations remembered Cain and Abel as an important lesson. Their story warned humanity against jealousy while encouraging sincere worship. Humility, righteousness, and responsibility toward one another. Though tragedy marked their family history, life continued across the earth. God's mercy still provided opportunities for humanity to choose obedience, compassion, peace, and faithful devotion instead of violence. Cain's story revealed both God's justice against sin and his mercy toward sinners. Even after terrible wrongdoing, divine compassion remained visible alongside righteous judgment. The conflict between Cain and Abel became humanity's earliest example of destructive envy. Their relationship demonstrated how unchecked emotions could destroy innocent human life completely. The story of Cain and Abel continues teaching generations about jealousy, worship, accountability, and mercy, reminding humanity that every choice carries consequences capable of shaping lives and destinies forever.